Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Spirit Soul Science Information for Your Soul. I am Chores and I help Black women heal from trauma and toxic relationships. Today, we're talking about conversations to have during the dating process. So before you get engaged, some things that you need to discuss. I saw a YouTuber, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and she has a video called 10 Things I Wish I Knew Before Getting Married. And I thought, a lot of us are in this dating process and trying to figure out, is this a good partner to spend the life with? And so I have about five, it's like four and a half. Do we call it five? Five different conversation topics to go over before you even get to we're going to get married, like we're planning to get married. If that sounds good to you, then please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and share this video with someone you think it may help. Okay, first topic, sex. Sex is the first topic, okay? My first two topics are the number one and two reasons why people get divorced. Sex and finances. So I have some notes here. I think sex is super important. Sex is what makes the difference between a platonic relationship and a romantic relationship. So I like to say relationships are for the evolution of your soul. There is nothing that compares to a long-term romantic partnership. Nothing. And there's sex involved. So how much sex do you want to have? What is your sex drive like? Are you all going to have sex with other people, right? So the conversation about monogamy, I don't think it should just be assumed. I think we should have a discussion because also things change. When you see couples who go through health problems or, elderly, dementia, things like that, things change. But even before you get married, what's the conversation on how often we're having sex? What kind of sex are we having? People have their interests, right? It's good to know, if you're going to be inviting people to the bedroom, if you all are going to do threesomes, is it only allowed that you all do it together? Are you all allowed to have a sexual partner on vacation? Like what is it? Everyone is different. So the conversation needs to be had. When are we having sex? Where are we having sex? And if you need like sex advice stuff, I think Esther Perel is a good person who talks about, keeping romance, keeping mystery alive, because in long-term relationships, right, things get routine, maybe monotonous, maybe boring to some people. I like the predictability, but if you want a healthy and happy relationship that's going to be, long-lasting, making sure that you keep the mystery alive is like important for you and your partner. Next one is finances. I know that people are online talking a lot about men should pay for everything and blah, 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 all that stuff. Finances become a tricky subject in marriage, not because of how much money the person makes. It becomes difficult for people because of how the money is being spent. So, are you a saver? Are you and your partner both savers? Or is it money in and money out? I think those people partner together have difficulties because if you are planning for the future and this partner is planning for current luxuries right now, it can be very frustrating when one person is like a spender or has a difficult relationship with money and someone else is like I have to keep everything, I have to save for a rainy day. Any of those extremes I think causes problems in the relationship. But then, do you want to invest your money? Some people don't believe in investing, right? Like some people don't believe in saving. They're like, well, I could die tomorrow, so I need to spend it now. Some people also don't believe in the stock market or making your money make money or watching your money make money. I like that kind of stuff. So it's sort of important for me to partner with somebody who has similar beliefs about money as I do. And then deciding if you all are going 50-50. I like traditional gender roles in my relationship, so I am not doing any 50-50. But if you all are doing 50-50, I heard a guy say one of his ways of doing 50-50 is doing a percentage of each person's income. So typically men make more, right? Men make more than women, which is what I want for everything. But if you want 50-50, then he's saying 40% of his income and 40% of your income, right? It doesn't end up being the same totals, but putting them together ends up being enough to cover the household expenses or whatever. Deciding even, in the dating process, who pays for what, who feels comfortable paying for what, and then when you get into like living together, planning for the future, it's about, who is paying for vacations, who is paying for eating out, where is the money going, and deciding that you're both on the same page. Despite the phrase opposites attract, people who stay in long-term healthy relationships are usually very similar. They have similar values, they have similar beliefs. They're not the same person, but they have a lot of similarities that mean there's not going to be a lot of conflict all the time. So the third one is talking about kids. Oh my gosh. In this, modern world, I think a lot of people are choosing to go childless because kids are expensive. I have one. And, creating the life that I want for him to thrive costs money. It costs money, and kids are expensive. So do you want to have kids? Some people do, some people don't. I do not think one person who knows, like if someone says, do you want to have kids? And you're like, maybe. That, to me, I have a category of yes and everything else. There is a person who says, yes, I definitely want kids. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to be a father. I can't wait to be a mother. This is what I want. And then there's other people who are like, who range from, no, I don't want kids, what? Mess up my body, or, stop me from traveling or whatever. There's also the in-between of like, I hadn't really thought of it. Maybe one day. Those maybe one days, I think, are usually no's. And so I think it's very important to be careful, because this is the conversation you're having before you get engaged. You don't want to be in a marriage and then figuring out this person doesn't want kids, doesn't really want kids, or likes kids but doesn't want to raise their own kids, which is fine. There are enough humans on the earth, okay? We are not at a loss for kids. People are going to have kids. So like, you don't have to have kids. Also, if you get into your marriage or, your partnership, you guys are committed, and you say, okay, well, now we're ready to have kids, and you have difficulty having kids, what's the conversation then? What if it becomes difficult? What if it's difficult to have kids? Like, what do you think about adoption? What do you think about fostering? Like, what do you think about that? Would you ever adopt? That's another conversation to have, because the reality is women are having children later and later, which means there's higher risk, right? Plus 35 is a geriatric pregnancy. It's a high risk pregnancy, hon, okay? And so between 35 and 40, how many would you really have? One? What if you want 4 and your first child is at 36? Are you gonna put your body through that? What if you had a difficult pregnancy? I think having all those conversations, because then adoption is a viable option for people. I've worked with kids in the foster care system. Let me tell you, they need love. They need love. And there's definitely lots of kids who could benefit from someone adopting them. Just a topic I'm throwing out there. Next one is about household chores. And so finances, household chores, I think it comes into like the duties of the same. Do you want to do gender roles in your relationship or not? It's a conversation to be had. Is the woman or the more feminine one going to do the household things, the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, that kind of stuff? Is it going to be the man who stays at home? Is it going to be, the man gets the bath, cleans the bathroom and the kitchen? Or, like, figure out how you want to divvy it up, because I think not having the conversation can lead to confusion and frustration in, well, this is not done, or this is not done right, and why haven't you done this, and why do you tell me to do everything, that kind of thing. Like I told you, I like gender roles. Listen, I've never been with a man that hasn't cooked or doesn't know how to cook, but if he don't want to cook, that's fine with me too. I love cooking. Oh my gosh, I love cooking. And so for me, having a man who cooks is not like a requirement. That's not like a necessary thing. I think because we live in a modern world, men just know how to cook. Like, they figure out how to cook for themselves. And so they they love cooking for me, but it's not a requirement for me. And so what is a requirement for you when it comes to, if you were to spend your life with this person, are you okay with a slob? Are you okay with being the person picking up after a slob? I'm not. Okay? But what is it that you are most comfortable with? And then I think under like household chores, like responsibilities for kids comes in. Women are the one who carries kids, right? But after a certain age, right, the kid doesn't need to, to be breastfed, or, some people don't even breastfeed. There's a point when, a woman wants to return to work, or she wants free time, or whatever. I think however you set up your relationship, it's important to discuss how you're going to divvy up these responsibilities. Men, right, especially modern men, like men who don't have to work crazy hours and do have time for their kids after school, on the weekends, would say they want a share of the parental responsibilities. What that share is, I think, is up to you. I think it's hard to do 50-50 unless both parents are working similar hours, right? If both parents are out of the home similar amount of hours, then I think it makes sense to figure out a 50-50 way. I think the women still take the brunt of a lot of parenting work, even if they work similar hours as men. That's why I think it's very important to have this conversation. So, because if I carry your child, honey, I'm working part-time, because it's important for me to teach this kid, not that I don't believe in preschool, but I didn't send my kid to preschool. I taught him everything he needed to learn, and that's the way I handled that. So do you want to be able to stay home in those first 3, 4, 5 years? Because K3 is still a thing. I think it's great for socialization for kids to send them at 3, even part of the day, 3, 4, 5, that kind of stuff happens. So is it important for you to be able to stay home during the day, or do you want someone else at daycare or whatever raising your kids? No judgment. However you decide to do it is fine. All these kids are going to grow up to be adults. If you give them the love and nurturing that they need, nobody's going to care if they were breastfed. Nobody's going to care if they went to pre-K. Nobody cares. People care about well-adjusted adults. That's the whole point. But however you want to do it, it can be done. You just need to have the conversation and partner with the right person. And then my last one is kind of a half, because it's still about family, but I'm from an island, right? I'm not from around here. So family, friends of family that have become like family, play cousins, that kind of stuff. Family, extended family, super important to me. Super important to me. I have chosen not to go on vacations to different countries just so I could go home and see my mother. My mother is super important to me. My sister, my family is super important to me. So how much time do you want to spend with your nuclear family, the family you just created? And then how much time do you want to spend with your partner's family? Or how much time do you want your partner to spend with your family? I think it's important to know, hey, we have these family outings X amount of times a year, or my sister is here and she's planning this, I need you to come support. Like, how much involvement do you want? Because I do believe family, it's not just two people coming together, it's really two families coming together. Depending on where you live and how American you are, I think maybe that's not so much. It's not so much viewed as families coming together, but I really do think in the Black community, we have large families, and we live usually in close proximity to our families. So if you're gonna be in close contact with your family, it's important for your partner to also get along with your family, right? And then deciding how much time, because we've seen enough TV shows to know that toxic mothers are a thing and they can wreck whole relationships. We see how siblings can take over. Some people have unhealthy relationships, attached in mesh relationships with siblings or whatever. Figure out what the family dynamics are like and how much time you are planning to spend with the family. How much time do you want, right? Because I love family. Oh, I love families. And, families always love me because I'm a joy. Yeah. Do you have any other topics that you think would be really important to discuss even before getting engaged while you're on this dating process? Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video with someone you think it may help, and thank you for watching.